Hey guys, so Beyond Meat are a fast-growing and industry-leading plant-based meat company who are looking to shift diets for the better across the world, improving consumer health, animal welfare, and the environment. The plant-based food sector in general is on the rise, and the market size is estimated to be a lot bigger in the future as more and more consumers shift their diet away from meat and towards plant-based alternatives. This gives Beyond Meat a really good opportunity to become a major global food company. In today's video, I'll be taking a look at some of the key details around the company, which includes who they are, the market they are operating in, their financials, future growth opportunities that they have, as well as any risks or concerns that I do have. And with the recent market sell-off that has been taking place, their stock is now at a discount compared to what it has been previously, now at just under $130 per share, giving it a market cap of $8.1 billion. So I thought it would be a good time to make this video, as it could be a good time to buy in, potentially. If you do enjoy this video and find it useful, please be sure to leave a like, as that does help out the channel a lot, and also subscribe if you'd like to see more videos like this in the future. But apart from that, let's get right into it. So first, a bit about the company. So Beyond Meat are a food company that produced plant-based meat alternatives designed to emulate popular meat products such as beef, meatballs, ground meat, sausages and patties. Beyond Meat believe that there are better ways to produce great tasting food rather than killing animals for their meat, and by shifting from animal to plant-based meat, they believe that we can all positively impact growing global issues such as human health, climate change, natural resource constraints, and animal welfare. By combining innovation with non-GMO ingredients, Beyond Meat deliver the meat experience that consumers enjoy, but without it actually being proper meat. And their products do offer greater or equal protein levels compared to proper meat alternatives, as well as no cholesterol, less saturated fat, and no antibiotics or hormones. Their products are available in over 122,000 different retail and food service outlets in more than 80 different countries across the world. In terms of the retail space channels, this includes mainstream grocery, mass merchandiser, club and convenience stores. They do also sell direct to customers through their website. And then in the food service space, you can find their food products across a variety of restaurants, food takeaway stores, food service outlets, and also schools as well. So global diet patterns are shifting, and the space that Beyond Meat are operating in is a growing industry. The global plant-based food market is growing every year and is expected to grow at an 11.9% compound annual growth rate between 2020 and 2027 to reach a market size of $74.2 billion. The plant-based meat market in the US alone grew from $682 million in 2017 to $939 million in 2019, a 38% growth over the 2-year period. So it is clear that there is a trend taking place of more people buying and consuming plant-based meat. And eating plant-based foods rather than meat can really benefit human health. People who eat a mostly plant-based diet have a 42% reduced risk of developing heart failure, while 30% of most cancers in developed countries are attributed to dietary factors, including consumption of certain meats. On top of this, reducing meat consumption can help to solve global issues. 60 to 70 million farm animals are reared and killed every year just to provide food for humans, and between 18 and 51% of global greenhouse gas emissions are driven by livestock rearing and processing. On top of that, 78% of all agricultural land is used for livestock, including grazing land and cropland dedicated to production of feed, while 29% of the water used in agriculture is directly or indirectly used for animal production. I think it is clear from this data that eating less meat does benefit both personal health as well as the world as a whole, and as someone who does eat meat myself, this data is quite alarming to see. I'm not saying that everyone should just stop eating meat, and to be honest, this is probably not going to stop me from eating meat altogether. However, it has certainly opened my eyes to the benefits of plant-based food alternatives, and I will definitely look at ways to reduce my meat consumption in the future. A study by the University of Michigan compared the environmental impact of a Beyond Burger, one of Beyond Meat's signature products, to a standard quarter-pound beef burger. The results showed that the Beyond Burger uses 99% less water, 93% less land, 90% fewer greenhouse gas emissions, and 46% less energy in total. So now to take a look at their financials. So Beyond Meat did achieve $406.8 million in revenue for 2020, a 36.6% increase on the $297.9 million achieved in 2019, despite being in a pandemic for the majority of the year, which did affect their restaurant side of the business quite a lot. When comparing their 2017 revenue of $32.6 million, we can see that they have achieved a staggering 132% compound annual growth rate over the last 3 years. And what is really interesting and impressive about Beyond Meat's 2020 performance is that they managed to grow their total revenue by 36.6% despite the restaurant and food outlet side of their business being significantly affected by the global pandemic. Revenue for the US food service channel dropped from $70 million last year to $61 million this year. In the grand scheme of things, a 12.9% decline in revenue in this sector is nothing to be too concerned about, especially when you take into account the damage that the pandemic did do for the entire food service industry this year. Many restaurants and food outlets were forced to close for extended periods of time throughout the year, and even when they were open, some places could not operate fully and they had to operate under limited capacity. And then revenue from the US retail channel for 2020 was $264 million, an amazing 104.7% increase from the $129 million achieved in 2019. Beyond Meat products are being sold by many large US companies, including Walmart, Target, Costco, and Sam's Club. International revenue did drop from $98 million last year to $82 million this year, but again this was impacted heavily by the pandemic and closures across the food service channel. International retail revenue did increase from $15 million to $36 million, while international food service revenue dropped from $83 million to $45 million. Their gross profit did increase to $122 million for 2020, up from $100 million in 2019, while gross margin decreased slightly to 30.1% from the 33.5% they had last year. And this decline in gross margin is not great to see. However, the company did give a reason that lower net price per unit volume was a larger proportion of their retail revenue compared to last year, which obviously caused a shift in their product mix and reduced the margin because of that. And then finally, they stepped up their investment in R&D, spending $172 million on this area in the year of 2020 compared to the $100 million that they spent last year. This spending now equates to 7.8% of their net revenue, up from 6.9% last year. So it's definitely good that Beyond Meat are spending a generous amount of money on research and development, because I believe it is a necessary thing to do if they want to really become a global food powerhouse. Having a wide range of exciting and great tasting products is very important and can only be achieved with R&D investments. They need to make sure that their food tastes just as good as meat going forward. So now for future growth and looking forward at the company. So Beyond Meat managed to increase their manufacturing capacity by 1.5 times over the last year, while also rolling out to a load of new stores across the world to give them 122,000 total outlets worldwide now. Continuous expansion of both manufacturing capacity and global outlets is a great sign to see for a growing company. Beyond Meat have some exciting new customer partnerships coming up soon, with continuous efforts to expand their food service partnerships. This includes in several countries, including the UK, some products being permanently introduced to Starbucks stores. It also includes products starting to be tested in McDonald's stores in Sweden and Denmark. Now, this partnership could be absolutely massive for the company and could increase their future revenue substantially if it does go well. 2020 also saw testing take place in Pizza Hut and KFC, so another two big names in the food space. Beyond Meat have had 6 new product launches take place over the last 2 years and are continuously innovating to come up with new potential ideas. I think we're bound to see at least a few new products hit the shelves in 2021 and beyond. And then as more research and development goes into the product formulas, Beyond Meat will be able to slowly reduce the cost of production for their products over time, which will allow them to lower their price as well. Now, if we compare the meat market to the car market for a second, in the car market, due to continuous research and development into battery technology, companies like Tesla are able to consistently increase the power and efficiency of their batteries while also reducing the overall cost of producing their batteries. This does allow them to slowly reduce the cost of their cars, and Tesla can now sell their Model 3 for $35,000 per car and have a $25,000 vehicle model in the works that is set to come soon. Similarly, in the plant-based food market, Beyond Meat should be able to gradually lower their product cost over the years until eventually they may be even cheaper than their traditional meat product rivals. And if and when this is achieved, it could be a major driver of growth for the company, as they will have the cheapest meat or meat alternative product on the market. So what are my final thoughts on Beyond Meat as a company? So firstly, I'd just like to say that this is just my own opinion and it's not financial advice. I'm not a financial advisor. This video is for purely entertainment purposes only, and you should definitely do your own research before you think about investing in a company. So I do really like Beyond Meat, and I think there is a lot of growth to come for them in the future. I think the sector that they're operating in is bound to keep growing over the next 5 to 10 years, and that obviously increases the total market size that Beyond Meat can sell to. So I do think there are one or two potential risks and concerns with Beyond Meat, this being other major food and drink companies potentially taking some of the market share away if they choose to get involved in the plant-based food and plant-based meat alternative products. If the likes of Coca-Cola, Pepsi, Tyson Foods, or even Kraft Heinz start to produce their own plant-based food products, then this could be a little bit of a concern, as it means that these giant household name food companies could potentially overpower Beyond Meat further down the line. But I do think this is quite unlikely to happen, just based on the advantage that Beyond Meat do already have in terms of product reputation and also the research and development into the products themselves. And with all of that being said, I did recently pick up a small position in Beyond Meat, and I'll definitely look to add to this position in the weeks and months to come. So that is all for today's video. Please be sure to leave a like if you did enjoy it, as that does help out the channel a lot. Be sure to subscribe if you'd like to see similar videos to this in the future. Also, drop me a comment, let me know what your thoughts are on Beyond Meat as a company. And apart from that, guys, thanks a lot for watching.